welcome to my YouTube channel, and today we will be discussing the remaining part of respiratory system. Like respiration I have discussed in the earlier part about the types also, and in this video I will be talking about the respiratory system in human beings, the different parts we will be discussing. So the first part is like nose. There are different parts, but first we talk about it's the nose, and in nose we have external nostrils and internal nares. External nostrils and we have internal nares. So external nostrils आपके ये तो openings है नाक के नीचे, ठीक है? Basically it's an opening from which you inhale the air. So and then we have like उसके बाद हमारे nasal chambers होते हैं दो, which are divided by nasal septum. So inside the nasal chambers what we find क्या होता है? Like inside nasal chambers here are present, mucus is present, and olfactory epithelium is present. There is an epithelial lining. Epithelial is a tissue. So olfactory epithelium. Here का purpose है, it's not without a reason. It's like for trapping dust, particles and microbes. And also it warms the moistened air that we inhale from the outside. And जो mucus है, mucus भी it helps in trapping these, dust particles. It keeps the inside of the nasal septum moist. Or there is an important membrane called olfactory epithelium, which helps in that sensation of smell. That sensation of smell is because of this membrane, olfactory epithelium. So this is the first about nose, the external nostrils and the nasal chambers, the internal nares. And second part is trachea. Second part is trachea. So what is the purpose of trachea? As you can see here, I have drawn a rough outline. Okay, you can get better diagrams in book, but I have given a rough outline here. So this is like trachea, and trachea is basically commonly known as windpipe. And trachea is made up of cartilaginous rings. Cartilage, basically that's a soft bone, so it's made up of cartilaginous rings that prevents it from collapsing. So it's made up of cartilage, and in this trachea there is a silt-like structure which is called as glottis. That is called as glottis. And this glottis has a covering on it. It has a flap on it. इसके ऊपर एक ढक्कन जैसा होता है, flap, which is called as epiglottis. And what is the purpose of this? While we are eating food, because food pipe, esophagus and this trachea, windpipe, they run parallel to each other. So when you eat food, the food should not go in this trachea, in the windpipe. So to prevent the entry of food into this trachea, we have this epiglottis, which just close this glottis so that food doesn't enter into your windpipe. But sometimes, when you are like talking while eating or you are laughing, so air enters your mouth and this flap opens, epiglottis, and then you got choked, which is very fatal. It can be deadly. So always avoid while eating you should not talk or laugh. Okay, so this is about the structure. Then we have next the third one, and then this trachea. You can see here this trachea bifurcates into two lungs, left and right. So we have the trachea will divide into bronchi. Okay. And this bronchi then further divides into primary bronchi, secondary bronchi, tertiary bronchi, and finally alveoli, alveolus. This is like here a bag-like structure. This is alveoli, So it's the part where final gaseous exchange takes place, where CO2 is eliminated and O2 takes place. So in this part, we basically see and we read somewhere that gaseous exchange takes place through lungs. But through lungs, in which part? It is in alveoli where the gaseous exchange takes place, CO2 is eliminated and O2 takes place. Fine. So then we have lungs. So lungs are two in number. There is left lung and there is a right lung, and lung is surrounded by a membrane which is called as the pleural membrane. And right lung is basically a litter, it's bigger in size than the left lung. The reason for this is because heart is located on the left side, so it's better, because of the position of the heart. The left lung is a little bit like there is a notch here, the cardiac notch, and it suppresses it a bit. So the right lung is quite, bigger in size. So the right lung is divided. We have a pleural membrane against, covering it, and it's divided into three lobes. We have the topmost is inferior lobe, and this part is also known as the apex, and this is known as the base. So we have inferior lobe, middle lobe, and a superior lobe. And in left lung, we have only two lobes, inferior and superior lobe. Clear? So this is about lungs, where the gaseous exchange takes place in the alveoli. And after lungs, the fifth part that we have, that is larynx. Larynx is basically the voice box. It's basically the voice box through which, you have seen guitar. When we play with the strings, voice is produced. So similar is with the larynx. It's the voice box, and sound is produced, but it's converted into speech with the help of tongue. And in birds also there is voice box, but that is known as syrinx. So you can remember that. That is known as syrinx, the voice box in birds. So these are the parts of the respiratory system, and which help in the process of respiration. And the main gaseous exchange जो होता है वो alveoli के through होगा, क्योंकि यहीं पे exchange of gases will take place. CO2 is eliminated and O2 is O2 reaches here through blood. And so this is all about the respiratory system in human beings. I have discussed the main parts of the respiratory system which help in respiration. So I hope you understood it well. So the few coming, the rest of the topics will be discussed in the upcoming videos later on. So till then, take care and stay safe.